Today on Security Briefs, we continue our Secure Connections series. Over the past several episodes, we've talked about secure communication in newsletters, social media, crisis moments, prayer updates, and language. But today, we need to address something that has quietly changed the missions landscape over the past several years: live streaming. Many churches now stream their services online. Sermons are archived. Clips are posted. Services are uploaded to YouTube, Facebook, church websites, and podcast platforms. What once happened inside a sanctuary now happens on a global stage, and that creates new considerations for missionaries and supporters alike. So today we're going to talk about what happens when local becomes global. First, to our missionary friends, when you're home on itineration, it is a joy to share what God is doing, but here is the question you must now ask. Is this being live streamed? Is it being recorded? Will it be archived permanently online? In open access contexts, this may not pose immediate risk. In sensitive or restricted contexts, it can create long-term exposure. A recorded introduction that says, "Serving as missionaries in fill-in-the-blank," can live online indefinitely. A Q&A moment with specifics about local partners can be clipped and shared. A prayer request mentioned publicly can be searchable for years. So here are some practical steps. Before speaking, ask whether the service is being streamed or recorded. Discuss ahead of time what terminology should be used publicly. Consider requesting that your segment not be archived or that it be edited before posting. In some cases, it may be wise to give a general public update and offer a more detailed in-person conversation off-camera. This is not about fear. It's about recognizing that digital permanence is different from a one-time gathering. What's said in a sanctuary today may be searchable globally tomorrow. In some of our advanced security training, we show an example that's sobering. A number of years ago, a terrorist organization produced a recruitment video. Among other things, that video included a clip taken from a church's archived testimony service after a short-term trip to a restricted access country. In the moment, that testimony was beautiful. It celebrated God's grace and told the story of a local man who had come to faith in Christ. It was shared in a spirit of joy and gratitude, but when that same clip appeared inside a propaganda video, it became something very different. What was meant to celebrate transformation was repurposed to inflame hostility. It was a chilling reminder that the same words, the same images, and the same video can be interpreted and used in very different ways depending on who is watching. And that's the reality of global digital permanence. Now to our pastors, missions committees, and church leaders. Live streaming is a tremendous tool for ministry, but when missionaries or missions work in general are involved, streaming requires intentional thought. If a missionary serves in a sensitive or restricted context, do not assume public broadcasting is neutral. Before introducing them, ask, is it appropriate to use the word missionary publicly? Should the country be named? Should the recording remain online afterward? Would it be wiser to pause the live stream during their update? Some churches have chosen to stop the stream temporarily during sensitive missionary presentations. Others post edited versions that remove identifying details, and these small decisions communicate something powerful. We value your safety as much as your story. Remember, once content is uploaded, it can be downloaded, copied, and redistributed beyond your control. Live stream does not mean limited audience. It means global archive. So what's the shared principle? Jesus told his disciples to count the cost. In other time, part of counting the cost is counting the reach. Technology has expanded our platforms far beyond our walls. Secure connection requires asking not only, is this encouraging, but also who else might see this? When missionaries and churches plan together, live streaming can still be a blessing, but it must be intentional, because what is local in the moment may become global in seconds. So here are some practical takeaways. Missionaries, before your next church visit, ask two simple questions. First, will this be streamed? And second, will it be archived? Then plan accordingly. Church leaders and supporters, develop a simple live stream policy for missionary guests, especially those in sensitive contexts. Clarify terminology, recording plans, and whether edits are needed. Technology is not the enemy. Unexamined exposure is. Secure connection in the live stream era requires foresight, and foresight protects the work for the long term. Now you know. We'll see you next time as we conclude our Secure Connections series.